Today I want to talk about something a little different. Something I've covered before, but something that I don't think people are realizing. We're going to talk about a study called the New Great Migration. Black Americans returned to the South, 65 to 2000. The South scored net gains of black migrants from all three other regions of the U.S. during the late 1990s, reversing the 35-year trend. Of the 10 states that suffered the greatest net loss of blacks between 1965 and 70, 5 ranked among the most top 10 for attracting black folks between 1995 and 2000. Southern metropolitan areas, particularly Atlanta, led the way in attracting black migrants in the late 90s. Among the migrants from the Northeast, Midwest, and West regions, blacks were more likely than whites to select destinations in the South. Atlanta and D.C. were top destinations for black migrants. All three regions, white migrants moved to a broader set of areas, including Miami, Phoenix, and L.A. So college-educated individuals need a new migration to the South. The brain gain states of Georgia, Texas, Maryland attracted the most black college graduates, while New York suffered the largest net loss. So after several decades as a major black migrant magnet, California lost more black people in it gained in the late 90s. Southern states, along with West spillover states like Arizona and Nevada, received the largest numbers of blackout migrants from California. This is called a full-scale reversal of the Great Migration. Now, that's out the way. And I'll leave this article in the description below. I want y'all to look at it. With this, we gotta say why. Well, we know a reason why black people moved from the South, places like Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Texas, to the West, the Midwest, and the Northeast. It was because of jobs. Well, your grandparents moved from the South for jobs, but now that you're educated and get your way up to a higher paying job, the percentage of African Americans getting hired at these great wages in the North are lessening. So with it being the brain gain, places like Georgia, Texas, D.C., and Maryland, black people are coming back educated and taking the jobs over and starting businesses in the South. Because being in the South is more conducive for black-owned businesses. But what's that leading to? That's leading to an influx of people questioning the way things are. It's leading to an influx of people going to HBCUs. The HBCU population gain, yes. After 2020, after the George Floyd thing, did get greater. But it was already increasing before that. Because you come home to what your grandma and your great-grandma saw, what your ancestors had, to be on the fields of your people. Now, the next step for the Great Migration or reverse migration to the South is to fix some of the laws. And this is going to be a big thing, as we saw in Mississippi the other day. It is so close, extremely close to being flipped, that the influx of new talent and new ideas, they're trying to stop it. Because they see, they ran people out of the South, but now they're coming back. And don't get me wrong, the North, Detroit, it was the biggest black city in America. But with a history of redlining where black people couldn't own houses and build generational wealth, being all over the North, Midwest, and the Northeast, Now that those people coming back from making $32,000 a year in Detroit, they can live comfortably making $40,000 in Mississippi. So, the only next step is to change the perception. Places like Chicago, where people know about the crime, they know about the crime in Detroit, know about cities that are still segregated to this day, like Cleveland, like Vidor, Texas. But in the South, they have this perception that it's all out in the open. It's true. In the North, you have racism, but it's more hidden. In the South, you know where you stand. So once we get that perception change, people start understanding that you can leave your car out in the yard, that you can have better food, better opportunity to start your own company if you really put the work in. Once that perception gets out there, and we start changing some of the laws to benefit the people who want to work, it will be a big transfer of wealth, knowledge, and power back to the South. I told you before, Austin is #1 place for HBCU grads. Now imagine that money and wealth all over the South. It's Coach Simmons. Think about it. Have a wonderful day. I'm out.